What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Yeah, we're live. All right. Welcome back to the chat and stream. Today, we will be talking about how there will be a 2022 World Series between the two New York teams, the Yankees and the Mets. I have thought about this one for a while. I just went on a vacation to New York, so this one kind of got the mind thinking about the actual sports team. Although we're in the lockdown, the MLB lockdown right now, it did get me thinking about, could these teams actually compete in the World Series together? Now, both these teams have very historic franchises, and they are very, very competitive teams when they get to face off against each other, especially now, this coming up season, when the Yankees are contending as well as the Mets, actually. The Mets will be contending with their acquisitions, which we will be getting into later today in the video. However, I just want to talk about the history of the actual Subway Series. It is obviously iconic because of the just pure history of the two teams. They're obviously crosstown rivals. It's just classic. Obviously, Yankees have a bigger rival, which is the Red Sox, but their second worst is the New York Mets. And for there to be a World Series between the Mets and Yankees, that is going to be completely iconic. There already was one in the past, but I would like to see another one in the future while I am alive, which I think we have a pretty good chance of seeing one in 2022. So, in the chat, we see Big N and Lukey Boy in the chat. So, big news. Yes, you did it. Yes, we are sure doing this live stream. We will be talking about Jimmy Gordon at the end of this video. Don't you worry, Noah and Luke. But, alright, let's get right into the first segment of the status of each team. So, the New York Mets were like a lackluster team last year. Obviously, they skipped the playoffs. They missed the playoffs. They looked pretty strong at the beginning of the season up until like July, when they started to vanish a little bit and lose the grasp of the division. But with their talent that they have right now, with Michael Conforto, who has been a little patchy, although he has really put it into gear. They did lose Javier Baez, which is not too much of a big deal because he did not put together much in New York. They have big names like Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso, Michael Conforto, as I already said, Brandon Nimmo, and who is there? Yes, we do love Jimmy Gordon. And they have their catcher, James McCann, to have them expand in their lineup to put as many runs together as possible. And I think that is such a big deal because the Mets have such good starting pitching that I think that they could personally make it far into the playoffs if they just get the run support, which they did get with all the players I've just talked about, especially Pete Alonso and Lindor. So let's get right into how the Mets starting pitching, especially Max Scherzer, is going to help them win the World Series. They have Jacob deGrom healthy next season. Max Scherzer healthy next season. Those two names, just cut everyone else. Those two names, not Francisco Lindor, what is it? Yeah, Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom, those two names are the two biggest starting pitchers in baseball. I know people are going to say Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole's good as well. However, Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer are my two favorite and best, skill-wise, starting pitchers in the MLB, which you need to navigate you through a playoff contention. So, aside from those two players, you have Taijuan Walker, who, if he has a good season, he will be doing amazing. But he was an all-star last year, but he was just a little bit inconsistent in my opinion. I don't know how he deserved that all-star. I was not following the Mets too big last season. I was obviously a Rays fan, but I don't see how Taijuan Walker put too much to the table as he could this next coming up season. And as you know, going into the World Series and playoffs, you need 3-star starting pitchers. And to have two solid lockdown pitchers, especially going into the season and postseason, it is just going to be amazing. And like I said earlier with the run support, if the run support does stay as strong as it has its potential to be, then the Mets will make it far in the playoffs. Now, moving on to the New York Yankees. I hate talking about them in a positive way because I am a big Rays fan. However, let's talk about the New York Yankees in a positive way. So, starting off with their starting pitching, they have superstar Garrett Cole leading the charge at pitcher number 1. Jameson Taillon, who has really stepped it up in 2021. I'm very impressed with him, honestly. Jordan Montgomery, number 3, who can do good, but I honestly don't find him as big of a key component as Bobby Cortez, I think it is, the dude with like 50 windups. He is going to bring a lot to the table in 2021. I think he's going to, since he was an up-and-coming star in 2021, I said 2021. Since he was an up-and-coming star in 2021, he is going to be just as good or better in the new coming season of 2022. Now, I think that is such a big deal because with the starting pitching of the New York Yankees, as you know, they're not the healthiest. You need everyone that you can get, and especially with Domingo Germán with his suspension from the MLB, that is not going to help in any regards. But however, the bullpen had its struggles at the beginning of the season and the middle. At the end of the season, it started to kick into gear with Chad Green and Aroldis Chapman, obviously the two main guys. Also, their prospects honestly have gotten a lot better than I thought. The New York Yankees usually don't farm too many big names. They usually just buy them because they're cheap. Well, not cheap because they're rich, but they make cheap moves. So, what I think will get New York to a World Series is they were pretty darn close actually last season. They just choked in the wild card. I really did think that they were going to make it far. They just need their relief pitching and starting pitching, but mainly relief pitching to stay solid. It's kind of the opposite of the Mets. The Mets have the pitching. They need the run support. The Yankees need the run support. The Yankees need the pitching but have the run support. So I think that they personally can make it very far if they just stay consistent. Both these teams, if they stay consistent and play to their full potential, look at any other team in the league, aside from the Rays, look at any other team in the league and see there's not as much pure talent in any other ball club than the Mets and Yankees. They are stacked with talent. It's just, are they going to stay healthy and are they going to be consistent? That's the big thing. Moving on to the status of each division. The NL East with the New York Mets. They are in a pretty weak division aside from the Atlanta Braves who just won the World Series. But if they just steer clear of the Atlanta Braves with their division, with their division coming up. Wait, hold on. I think I'm lagging. I think the stream's going down. No. Hold on, I'm good. Okay, with the division matchups with the Mets versus Braves, we will see very much consistency out of the Mets, which they will need because all they have is the Atlanta Braves to just steer clear of. All the other teams in the NL East are okay because all the other teams just really do not show too much of a factor in shutting them down for the season. Although the AL East for the New York Yankees is the exact opposite. So, starting off, Tampa Bay Rays, back-to-back division winners. They are a force to be reckoned with. They are going to. I'm not trying to be biased. I am a little bit, but I don't see them stepping down from that first place next season. I think it's either going to go Yankees or Rays in first. It's going to go Rays, Yankees, both with 100 wins. Then it's going to go Sox, Jays, then Orioles. But I think with the Toronto Blue Jays and Boston Red Sox making a lethal threat for a World Series championship, I think that they just need to play to their full potential against the division rivals, which is hard because they play them a lot in the season. And it's just crazy to see how two drastically different divisions can make their way both to the World Series. But I think that it's going to be a lot harder of a challenge for the AL East team, New York Yankees. However, I think that it still holds a legitimate chance for the Subway Series to happen. Moving on to segment 4, each team's postseason path. Now, like the divisions, obviously AL is a lot more competitive than NL in this coming season. It's going to take a lot more out of New York it's going to take a lot out of the New York Yankees to make it to the World Series aside from the Mets. The Mets, all they have is the Los Angeles Dodgers and a couple hot teams to be scared of in the postseason because they just have no real big contenders in the postseason as of now in the NL. However, for the New York Yankees, they are going to have a dogfight, which moves into our next segment, who will win it. Now, with the dogfight of the New York Yankees, if they make it to the World Series, navigating the whole American League, they will have to be the hottest team in baseball, meaning I think it will be a very, very long series, but I'm calling it now. I know, as a Rays fan, it is very hard to say this, but I do see it very possible for the New York Yankees to beat the New York Mets in the 2022 World Series in 5 to 7 games. It's not going to be a sweep or anything. Let me tell you that now. It's not going to be a sweep. It is not going to be a sweep. It's going to be a very, very big series. It's going to have lots of millions and millions of views, obviously, because it's the Subway Series and it has just so much more significance. But as a Rays fan, it hurts me to say we will probably see a Subway Series, World Series, won by the New York Yankees. So that's all I have. Wait. That's not all I have, actually. I forgot to say who I think will be the World Series MVP. That was the last segment in this video. World Series MVP will obviously go to a Yankee because the Yankees are going to win it. But, I don't want the Yankees to win it. That's just my prediction. I really want the Mets to win it. I want the Yankees to lose, but I just think that they're going to lose. However, the World Series MVP, I think, will either go to Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu, Aaron Judge, or Garrett Cole. One of those four. Actually, subtract Garrett Cole because it usually does not go to pitchers. He would have to have 2 amazing starts in the World Series and maybe relief. So I think it'll probably go to Giancarlo Stanton. DJ LeMahieu is not guaranteed to be healthy. Stanton gets hot in the playoffs when the lights are shining bright, when this team is in it. So with that, the 2022 World Series is going to go to the New York Yankees. Giancarlo Stanton is going to win the World Series MVP. And I'm very happy to look forward to this and see if my prediction is correct. However, as everyone knows, the MLB is shut down right now, which kind of sucks because it's really hard to make videos with trending topics. There's no trending topics now, so I'm going to have to think of these ones off the top of my head. But okay, that's it for the video. However, I forgot to talk about Jimmy Gordon. I would like the chat to actually type your favorite things about Jimmy Gordon, because I am not the most educated man about Jimmy Gordon. That is the chat's doing. All right. That's the chat's doing. So chat, what do you have to say about Jimmy Gordon? So, anyways, the reason why I haven't been posting too much is because I was on vacation. That was it. There's no other excuse. But anyways, thanks all for watching.